Good morning to you all. Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. So, today we're going to be looking at what this experience really is, as if it could be described. Of course, it can't, but we can talk around it. We can talk about the experience in a way that lowers our resistance to the experience so that the experience itself may more easily overtake us. And isn't that what we want? For the experience to overtake all of our defenses, all of the ways that we've tried to claim another experience? So, Vicky was actually talking about something right before we started this session. She was talking about spiritual coherence. I like that. But what does it really mean? So, what I came up with is that coherence, in a spiritual sense, means that the life that I am experiencing is in coherence with the life that God eternally offers me. What I am experiencing, what I am allowing in my consciousness is coherent with the life that God is eternally offering me. Every moment, never interruption, never any exception. The life that is being offered to each one of us is ours now and forever. But if we deny that in our minds and try to establish self will as opposed to divine will, then I'm not going to experience that which is always being offered to me. And this is when we come down to the difference between self growth and personal growth. We hear a lot about self-growth. Let's take programs and go to workshops and conferences that are all about improving the self. I think each and every one of us has come to the point now of realizing that we're not here to improve the self. What we're looking for is not self-growth, but spiritual growth. And spiritual growth comes basically when we accept everything exactly as it is now. Everything, no matter what, the high, the low, the good, the bad, and not be swayed from the spiritual coherence that tells us that we are in an alignment now, whether we're conscious of that alignment, we are in alignment now with the will of God, which is perfect happiness. If we would just get out of the way, perfect happiness could be ours. In other words, happiness that does not sway, does not change, it does not depend upon what's happening outside me. I mean, I have a choice right now. I could look outside and say, "Oh no, it's snowing. I'm gonna have to take the dog for a walk and it's gonna be all cold and windy." Or I could look at it and say, "Wow, this is so beautiful. This is so wonderful." I live in Mexico most of the time, so I don't get to see this, so I'm excited to take the dog for a walk. Once again, accepting everything exactly as it is, as opposed to wanting it to be different, even in subtle ways. I showed everyone before the session, I showed them the cup that I'm drinking from. And this is a good example. It says, "I just want to pet my dog and pretend like Obama is still in office." That's wanting things to be different than they are now, as opposed to fully accepting exactly everything the way it is now, knowing that God's will is perfect every moment, knowing that I am in spiritual coherence with the will of God. If I would just set my separate or split will or the desire for self growth aside and say, "Take me. Take me exactly as I am, exactly as things are. I don't need anything to be different. I don't need to change, shift. I don't need to grow even. I just need to relax and allow God's will to be perfect right here and right now." So, that being said, I prepared a little something that I thought I would share. Let me set my Obama cup down. Let me go ahead and, excuse me, put this up on the screen. So I want to show you all something. Let me put this up. There we go. Take a look at that. That's Vicky on the screen. She's in front of a lot of happy people. And this is what Vicky says to them. What if nothing in us needs to be fixed, improved, or rescued? Only trusted. Mm, I like the way of only trusting that which is given to us every moment, that coherence that we could step into any moment. The problem is that we don't usually trust it because we don't think that what I want is in coherence with what I see. If I don't want to go out in the cold or walk the dog in the snow, I'm going to look outside and say, oh, I don't like this. But I can change that at any moment by asking that question. What if nothing in us needs to be fixed, improved, or rescued? Only trusted. Let's look at the next one. Here we go. Something that Vicky is very good at, pastoral care, sitting with people exactly where they are. And she asks, what if life already knows how to live itself? What if? What if we got out of the way and just let life be lived? Let it be exactly as it is, knowing that everything is perfect. And here are the key words, no matter what. So it says, so much of our spiritual life has been shaped by striving to heal, striving to understand, striving to become better versions of ourselves. And yet, beneath all that effort, there is a deeper truth waiting patiently that the source of our life has never been striving to become anything at all. The source of our life, what is that? Of course, it's love. The source of our life or love doesn't strive to become, it accepts and acknowledges exactly what it is, now and forever. I am as God created me. If I remain as God created me, fear has no meaning, evil does not exist. I am as God created me. So no more striving, no more trying to be anything other than what is real and whole right now. Here's another question from Vicky. What if the peace we keep trying to reach is not somewhere ahead of us, but quietly present beneath the effort to reach it? What if peace is quietly present beneath the effort, all the different efforts that we make to find peace, to create peace? Now, this is challenging, especially we talked about the situations that we encounter in the world today and the difficulties that are happening all around us in the United States, all the different things that it would be very easy to say, I want it to be different, or this should be different. This is not right exactly as it is. And in that situation, what we really need to do is to relax into the I don't know. I don't know what needs to happen. But if I can accept the premise here that spiritual growth means that I'm experiencing the coherence that God is eternally offering me right here, right now, and that everything is exactly as it needs to be. Things don't need to be different. Things don't need to be anything other than what they are right now. And when we finally come to that experience, not the idea, but the experience, there's only one final question ahead of us. And before I show this final slide, I'll just say that this is the question. If we could just answer this question, all else would fall into place. So here it is. What if Jimmy was finally able to talk Vicky into getting a tattoo on her arm? Is that the miracle we've all been waiting for? What if What if we could talk Vicky into getting that tattoo right on her arm? Now that, trust me, would be a miracle. That would be the miracle of all miracles. But you never know. But in spite of that, there is no tattoo on Vicky's arm, and that's exactly as it should be. And accepting that and being coherent with the will of God is all I need. So, Vicky, I'm going to turn it over to you. I just so appreciate all those beautiful questions that you asked, even though you didn't know that you asked them.
Well
So,
done. Brother James, I sure appreciate how you can take all these little loose pieces and beautifully orchestrate them into such a beautiful presentation. I'm so impressed with what I know that I didn't even know. I'm so impressed with even knowing how to garden and find a statue of a living angel. I'm impressed. I mean, I'm very grateful. Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you, everybody. And yeah, I don't know, the truth is, Elaine and I watched Pollyanna the other night. Now, some of you may have watched Pollyanna with Haley Mills years ago. And that's a saying, oh, that you're no Pollyanna or you're being a Pollyanna. And it's usually not so positive. It means, oh, you're not facing reality. You're making light of what's important. But the truth is, Pollyanna was someone that accepted everything and she played the glad game. And the glad game was whatever it is, welcome it in and see the sunny side. No differently than when James was saying, oh, it's snowing and cold and blistery and windy, and I have to walk the dog. That could be a real pain in the neck. Instead of saying, I haven't seen snow in a long time. Look at how beautiful it is. And that's the glad game. Oh, I'm so glad it's snowing. So I went to the doctor the other day I go every few years just to check up on things. And I gained a lot of weight, gained 10 pounds. And I thought, I better watch what I'm eating. I thought I was listening. I must not be listening. So what did I do? I said, well, I got to welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. I must need to be rounder right now. I'll be round. And I was really trying to listen and tune into. That's why I wanted to tune in to this coherence because the real coherence of the spirit coherence, it is a result, as an effect, it answers every little thing that we think we're dealing with in form. It's a byproduct of how grace comes through that openness and it somehow fills in the practicalities that we look at every day. We know what to do, who to call, where to go. So, so I really didn't get, oh, change your eating, change this, you got to, give up sugar, all that. Didn't get any of that. But what I got was a natural prompt to go back and swim again. And one of my local girlfriends said, "Want to come to a stretch class?" I said, "Okay." And before I knew it, I'm doing the stretch, I'm doing the swimming, I'm back to swimming every morning. Elaine's here, we're going together. And what is it? A party. It's a party. And it's not, it also may be a solution. Maybe I'll lose weight, maybe I won't. I don't know. But none of that information came through. And then the other thing I was telling the girls this morning, I went to get on a Zoom yesterday, and on my phone, I'm not touching it, is a phone call to Big Teddy. Now I didn't touch the phone, and many of you know Teddy, my husband who passed. So I said, "Oh, Teddy's calling. I better answer the phone." And I'm driving home this morning from the pool, and on the radio, and I don't usually play the radio. I like it quiet, but I played the radio, and they don't usually play this kind of music. And they announced it in case I didn't know. It was the Grateful Dead, just as I turned it on, playing "Help is on the Way." And I thought, now look at that. Look at that. Spirit singing and talking to us all the time. It's like tuning to the invisible instead of being so fixated on the visible. And the Pollyanna thing is, oh, you'll never be practical. I've been very practical, it seems, most of my life, and but not as a goal. It's been an effect of not having a goal. It's like I never wanted to be in the restaurant business. I had a bunch of restaurants. It's like I never wanted to do what you're calling pastoral care. I never think of myself as very good in that. And I did tons of it. So, and I had a ball. It was always fun. I'm telling you the truth. God's way is really fun. There's just no two ways about it. No matter how devastating something may appear, and we have seen devastating things all around us these days. The fundamental thing when I look at that is, dear God, I'm so glad I don't know what's going on. Please, how can I help? Show me. I just will feel it all. And it is about welcoming everything. And feel sick in your stomach. I do that when I see a tragedy or something devastating, but there's no staying there. It's one of Jimmy's favorite lessons. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. That's what this is about. And it's always in this moment now, not later after I do a million workshops, just right now. And lean into listening. The angels are singing everywhere. Lean into the invisible. It is where the coherence is, and we can receive it. So, and it's happy, and I love you all. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for that beautiful morning, that beautiful tribute. Thank you. Thank you. Tribute to spirit.
Can you hear that? Hold on. Let's just take a moment before we bring Penny Honey on. Let me see if I can make you make this hearable. And we'll just use this as a little meditation to take this lesson even deeper.
Me on this world, there is a world I really want. I really want me on this world. There is a world that I want. Me on this world, there is a world I really want. I really want me on this world. There is a world that I want. Is it really a loss to find a world where losing is impossible? To find all things you really want, and to know they have no ending. To know they have no ending. To know there is no end. Be on this world there.
Okay. Sorry I couldn't get a good graphic up there, but I think we can resonate with that one line. Beyond this world, there is a world that I want. And that world is not going to come to me by resisting what I'm experiencing now. That may be one of the hardest lessons we have to learn, because when we see injustice, when we see tragedy, when we see violence happening to people we love, we want to say, this is wrong, this should be different, and it is. But I am not going to have any true effect if I get in there and battle. I'm not here to battle, but to see through. And in doing so, I am truly helpful. This is a big lesson, especially today with all the things that are happening in the world and in the US. We are called to see through it all to the real world, not the world where everything seems to change in an instant. I love this lesson, lesson 129 from A Course in Miracles. Beyond this world, there is a world that I want. Or you cannot stop with the idea that the world is worthless, for unless you see that there is something else to hope for, you'll only be depressed. Our emphasis is not on giving up the world, but on exchanging it for what is far more satisfying. That's what we're doing. Filled with joy and capable of offering you peace. Think that this world can offer you that? No. That which is constantly changing can never offer you that, but that which is changeless, love itself, not only offers it to each one of us, but delivers to each one of us. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Penny Honey, and you can take us home. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Ah, it's snowing there. That brings a lot of joy to my heart. That it's snowing there.
Whoa, baby.
I'm celebrating that with you, James, because, after 7 years of that, shoveling 100 inches of snow a year was the average where I just came from. And I shoveled all 100 inches of them for 7 years. And it is about that adjustment of seeing it. And it's about seeing through it, the beauty of the snow and the moisture and what it's doing and the season and all of those things. When we talk about that spiritual coherence, what came as I was considering how you're receiving snow this morning and how I would receive snow this morning. And I thought about that word coherence. And this is what happened. We are co-hearing, hence the miracles we will experience. We are co-hearing, hence the miracles we experience, the shift in perception, the shift in recognition. We co-create, we co-hear, we co-operate, we co-collaborate in co-hearing. Hence, we experience the gift that it is to be one with all. The gift. The gift. I remember as a youngin', that wasn't so long ago, I would get reminded that you're walking around this world with your eyes closed, Penny. You know, the world is going to shock you and you're going to be disappointed. You're walking around this world with your eyes closed. And I was only about 45 when I said, I think you're right. I am walking around this world with my eyes closed, and I love what I see. I love what I see when I look through the illusion and the stories and the less than and not getting it right. I love what I see when I look through the illusion of anything that separates me from knowing my divine self. I love what I see with my eyes closed as I look out into the world right now, in the midst of, maybe it's a snowstorm, maybe it's a protest, maybe it's another headline. I love what I see with my eyes closed, so that I might remember the divine, the expression that is aching to come through, and we will pull it forth with our very own eyes. We will manifest the good in our presence when we are cohering, hence remembering the miracles that are always available. Maybe not a tattoo on Vicky, but the miracles that we swim in, that we are in, that we are co-creating in every moment with our thoughts, with our words, with our deeds, with our actions, and with our presence. To be coherent spiritually, to align with the knowing of our divine nature and see it express into the world through our actions and our words and our deeds and our presence. This is who we came to be, and we are the ones right now. We're the right ones because we're here. We must be. We must be that divine expression that is being called forward, or we wouldn't be here. We must be. And I say, let's close our eyes and let's see the divine that is in all of it. And you know, for me, spiritual coherence also translates into, like my grandma would say, Penny, you got to put feet on those prayers. You have to follow what that heart calls you into. You have to hear, co-hear, so that the miracle is something that you can receive. My little feet say, stay grounded right now. My little feet say, stay present right now. Now that may not be what it says tomorrow. And when we recall that nothing does need to be fixed, it only needs to be realized in the divine that it is. It doesn't need to be fixed to be realized as the divine that it is. I invite us into closing our eyes and cohering with the great divine that is expressing through you now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Penny, honey. Thanks to all of you. Thank you, Vicky. Before we go, I think there's one thing that we need to see one final time, and that is the picture of Vicky with a tattoo. There it is. Something I'm never going to see in the physical, so I may as well create it virtually. So, doesn't that look good, Vicky? Don't you think that would look great on your arm? So, I've been having fun creating these little AI slideshows, and all I'm going to say is yesterday it was one with me, today it was one with Vicky. So, watch out, Penny Honey, because yours is coming. So, let's be coherent with the coherence of divinity. Let's relax into what is rather than focusing on what is not. It really is that simple. Even when it seems as if we're not doing what we need to do, we realize, see through our real eyes, that which is always present, that which is always loved. You are always loved exactly as you are. And to that we say, Amen, amen, amen y punto. Have a beautiful day. We love you all.